Good afternoon, Dolton residents. I'm Mayor Riley Rogers, and today we're going to do another edition of Take Another Look. And my guest today is no other than one of our newest trustees that's been in office since April, and that's Trustee Steave. Ed, how you doing today?
Good. How about yourself, sir?
Good. Yeah. Well, you know, it's been a while since we've done a lot of these episodes of Take Another Look. So, Ashad, he's no longer with us. He was a great host, and so I thought I'd take the opportunity to start doing some of these programs. So today I want to talk about two things: the improvements at the Melody Fitness Center and the Village of Dolton getting prepared for our winter season, where we will encounter, of course, water main breaks due to the freezing temperatures and also snow. So let's talk a little bit about the Melody Fitness Center. You're the chairman of the Melody Fitness Center community and also the chairman of the Public Works Committee.
Yeah.
What's going on at the Melody Fitness Center?
Well, Melody Fitness, as we know, over the last few years has been a hot spot where things got really stagnated because of the political fighting. So right now, we are poised to open up the pool Monday next week, which will be October, I think, 21st.
Okay.
The grand reopening of the pool will be Monday at 8 o'clock at Melody Fitness. We're going to do a ribbon cutting and everything.
Okay.
So we was a long process. We had to get the state to come out. That took a long time because they had to just approve the permits of the work. Once they approved the permits, then we did the work, and then they had to come back out and reapprove the work that was done.
Okay, let's talk about the work. The pool was initially almost completed last year by our in-house maintenance engineer, if you will, Scott Gilmore, and he was just days away from putting on the final coat of epoxy, I think it was, to the pool for the pool to be completed. And then what happened?
Well, he was that close to being done, and then at the time the board decided to make some cuts, and he was in the cuts that they made. They cut him out the budget right before he finished the pool.
Okay.
And because of that cut, when we got office, we had to finish up that work, so we had to redo the
work that he did.
The work that he did was cost the village, I think, up to $45,000.
It was $60,000, if I'm not mistaken, close to $60,000 now. Because when he was finishing up the final stages of repairing the pool, from my understanding is that it takes a while after the epoxy, the finish epoxy is put on the pool, and then the final paint is put in there. It takes a few days for it to cure. And then after it cures, you have to, kind of speedily complete and put the last coat on. And it was in between that last coat where he was cut out of the budget, and which cost us a lot of money because from what I understand in speaking with them, the walls started to crack again, the epoxy started to crack because it didn't get a chance to get the final coat and have it to cure. So everything had to be done over again, and it cost the village a lot of money.
A lot of unnecessary money.
A lot of unnecessary money.
And we had to really put a lot more money into that place. And right now, because the pool was down, we lost a lot of members.
Yes.
So it wasn't making the money that it was making before that.
Right.
So you got the fact that we're still keeping the place open, subsidizing how much it costs to keep it open, and then we lost the pool and wasn't able to finish it. So we had to incur them costs when the customers dropped, the membership dropped.
Right. And when and to our advantage, and let's be honest about it, Melody Center is not self-sustaining right now. And we lost some membership due to the pool. But to be honest with you, I mean, we're one of the only fitness centers that has a pool now, in the area. Of course, they're not saying that we're the only one, but that's an advantage that we have. Hopefully we can do an aggressive recruiting program to get those members back and some additional members to get us in a position where that facility be self-sustained. Now tell me about the equipment. Did we lease some new equipment in there?
I didn't run what we did was there was a lot of duct tape, old equipment that was messed up, so I had that reupholstered. And now the next thing to do is we want to lease 2 ellipticals and 3 treadmills. I didn't do that because I wanted to get the pool open and get that influx of money coming back,
Right.
and then we can justify. But it's not even a big expense to really rent some equipment.
Okay.
So we're going to get, not really rent, but finance some treadmills and some elliptical machines.
Okay. And of course, a lot of the residents like those treadmills.
Yes.
That's an easy way to get your heart pumping and the cardio going, and a great way to lose weight.
Yep.
Now, what do you expect out of bringing the pool up to speed? And we want to make sure to let the residents know that the pool is totally inspected now by the state, totally inspected by the county. We've got the green light to get this pool open. We're going to do the ribbon cutting on Monday. Monday is October 21st at 8 a.m. So we want this to go up for the people to see, the residents to see, because we want a big turnout for that Monday.
Yeah.
Now, I can't guarantee that I'm gonna have my trunks on and go in the pool on Monday, but I'm just gonna say,
That'd be great.
Right. I'm just gonna say that please, if you're watching this program, try to turn out for that ribbon cutting, and also consider a monthly membership. Now, what is the membership fee?
The membership fee right now is $20 a month, which is very, very inexpensive.
Right.
We don't hold people to a contract. You can pay as you go, or you can pay up for the year.
Okay.
But it's very inexpensive to come there for the amenities that we have there. Is very inexpensive, especially with the pool. There's a sauna, and then for the workout facility, treadmills. The weights, the free weights and stuff like that. Okay. So there's a lot of good services there that you take advantage of.
Okay, what are the hours?
The hours are from Monday to Saturday. Monday through Friday is from 5 to 10 in the evening.
5 a.m. to 10 p.m.
5 a.m. to 10 p.m. And then on Saturday it's from 9 to 4.
9 to 4 on Saturday?
Yes.
And you close on Sundays?
We close on Sundays.
And
we would really like to reopen Sundays, but once we get our membership up and we can justify open up another day, we get more money, we will open up on another day.
Okay. Now, I haven't tried it, but what is this new, the cafe in there?
Cafe,
tell me a little bit about that.
We have a lady named Rashida, and she is a yoga instructor over there, but she opened up the Detox Cafe. So at the Detox Cafe, you can get healthy smoothies. She does detox for people who want to detoxify their body, and she does wraps and wraps and salads.
Wraps and
salads.
Okay.
So it's going to be healthy food, a healthy option in Dolton, right in the Melanie Fitness Center. So you can come over there. She opens next week as well. She'll be officially open next week.
And what will her hours be?
Hours be Monday through Friday from 9 to 3.
9 to 3.
9 to 3.
Okay, great. And you also said she's a yoga instructor?
She's a yoga instructor over now. We have a yoga class in the evenings. Now that we got the pool open, we're going to start really promoting the new classes that we have. We have classes in the daytime that a lot of the seniors take advantage of.
Yeah.
But now we want to really capitalize on the evening classes for the working class people, the 40 to 30 to 40, 50-year-old people who get off work and want to come somewhere and work out. So that's what we're about to capitalize on now, to get some aggressive plans. We got a weight loss challenge going on there that we started, that we kicked off about a $1,000 weight loss challenge. Whoever loses the most weight in a month will win $1,000.
And when is that over?
Over the first week of November.
First week of November.
So there was a big weigh-in the first week of October, and then the final weigh is the first week of November.
Okay.
And whoever loses the most weight wins $1,000.
So is it too late to get in?
It's too late to get in now
for
this weight loss challenge. But we're going to do it again because it's a way to promote. We got the day for the weight loss challenge, we got about 67 people signed up. We got 10 to 11 new members that day. 60 people signed up for the weight loss challenge.
Wow. Wow.
And like I said, we do things like that. The goal was to add on by at least 100 new members a month.
Wow. Okay.
And we get 100 new members a month, then next budget time I can really show that it was cost. The membership was making this amount of money, and now we're making this amount of money.
Yeah. Now that's pretty aggressive, trying to get 100 members a month.
Yeah.
Now you said it's $20 a month. Mm-hmm. If you pay by the month. Now is there a reduction if you pay by the year?
Yeah, there's a small reduction.
Small reduction,
but
okay.
not a huge reduction.
Okay.
You can pay up. Some people have paid up for the whole year.
Okay.
I mean, but that's the option that you have.
Okay.
And you can also, some people pay as you go, or you can set it to come out your account automatically every month.
Okay. Now, that $20 a month, does that entitle you to a full use of the Melody Fitness Center?
That entitles you to full use of the Melody Center. That entitles you to the classes that we have over there.
Okay.
And the pool and the sauna.
Okay. Great. So I'm hoping we can turn this thing around. You know,
that's the goal.
The health, your health, I should say, is your wealth.
Yep.
You know, so it's great, and I've had some health challenges. You know. But I need to get in the gym and start doing some things.
Yeah, so that'd be good. That'd be a good video. Mayor Rogers working out at Melody Fitness.
Yeah. You know, also, you know, swimming is a great exercise for you. You know, for the cardio and everything. So, and I would imagine those classes will start back once the pool
classes start back. The aqua aerobics class. We're going to have it's going to be coming soon, but we're going to have a big aqua aerobics like even sometimes in the evening. But it's going to be paid. People come, but it's going to be a big. We have a DJ and everything there, but it's going to be a big thing in the pool.
Okay.
To get members. That'll be another event that we'll do to get more people to come out, and you get members that way as well.
Okay, great. Right on with the Melody Fitness Center. Okay. All right.
That's the goal.
Trustee, you also wear another hat as a committee chair, and that's for the committee chairmanship of the Public Works. Now, since you've been in office, how many months?
6 months.
6 months.
6 months.
Somewhere in there. You know, you've had a chance to go over and view what's going on in Public Works. You know, we talked about personnel when you first came in, when you became chairperson. The number of personnel that we were down. Since that point, we put on personnel, and they're doing a lot of duties around the village. We also talked about the need for equipment. You know, I think 3 or 4 years back, maybe four or 5 years back, we bought some trucks to complement the trucks that we had, so we can do snow plowing. We bought a truck for the chipper, and a couple of pickup trucks with plows on. Now, as the seasons change, you know, the need for equipment changes also. We talked about some additional new trucks that we needed because of the 2 of our oldest trucks, which are 1999s, are in need of repair that would cost us a lot of money to repair. So what's your thoughts on purchasing that equipment, having the equipment ready and available, having manpower available for the snow and the winter that's coming? It's inevitable, it's going to be here. And 2 of the main things that we have to deal with when the winter climate is water main breaks. So we got to have the manpower for that, and also equipment. And then the winter snow that's coming. You know, it's kind of unpredictable about how much snow we'll get. I know several years back we got about 24 inches of snow. We was snow covered. So tell us a little bit about it.
Well, right now, I've had a few committee meetings since I've been the committee chair over Public Works. In the last committee chair meeting we talked about the need for the new snowplow trucks. So I try to make my way to stop over at Public Works. I try to go over there at least once or twice a week early in the morning when the guys are going. I talk to the guys, I talk to the superintendent and the supervisors. And right now we need 2 new trucks.
Right.
But 2 new trucks, which I'm learning are very expensive, we can do it new.
Yes.
So the superintendent found some trucks that we can finance that's reasonable within our budget, so we can replace these 2 new trucks. The new trucks that we have now.
Replace the old ones.
Replace the old ones.
Yes.
Replace the 2 old ones that we have now. You're right, you maybe about 4 years ago, you got some new trucks.
Yeah.
And then now there's 2 more that we have to replace.
Yes.
But since I've been the committee chair, I've been really wanting to focus on improving the whole customer service aspect of Public Works, which is huge, and then trying to be as transparent as possible of what's going on over there, the improvements that we're making, so we can really show the growth of the improvement that Public Works is making.
Well, one of the things that I appreciate you for is that you have not went over to Public Works and interfered with anything. You actually went over there, observed, and been a listening person, and bringing back to the council what's going on over there and what's needed. In the past, we've had some interference with some of the employees there and some of the things that were going on. But I think we're moving in the right direction now. When you came into office, it was approximately 12 employees in Public Works. You know, now we're back up to what the union said we should be at 19. And there's just so much stuff that we were behind on and we're catching up on. But now coming into a new season, we face a different element that we have to deal with in Public Works, and we have to make those adjustments to accommodate the residents here. So what are you hearing from some of the employees there in regards to working conditions, in regards to equipment that we need and other things?
Well, when I first got in office, the biggest thing is that they needed manpower.
Right.
They needed help. You know, and that was the first thing that we focused on with the new budget time, getting them more help over there. And now we get their right equipment. I think which is different for me is that for years I was a media director. So for the years I was a media director, you get a chance to see everything from the, kind of from the outside.
Looking in. Yeah.
Looking in.
Yes.
And I've seen over the years I try to make it my point not to interfere with the day-to-day operations of the village.
Right.
The legislative branch of the government does not get involved with the executive branch of the village. And the village runs better when it happens that way.
Yes. Yeah.
If I'm asked my opinion on something like that, or the things that's in my role or my responsibilities, I try to handle. But I don't get involved in the personnel and the day-to-day operations, and this person shouldn't be here, this person should be here, you should leave. You know, I don't want to get involved in that because that creates a stalemate in the village and things doesn't move forward. Right. So since I've been over there, since I've been in office, I've been trying to listen and talk to the superintendent, what you need, what do you think about this week? And he throws his ideas off me and I ask questions because I'm not being elected officials. That's his expertise. That's why you have department heads who run the department. Yeah. And you kind of can pull on the department heads. What do you think about this? And tell me why this is. Tell me why this is. Okay, what do you think we need to do about this to make things run better? Right.
And one of the things I think where you have an advantage on some of the other trustees that have come into office is that you've been here for 6 years. Yeah. You know, you've seen the good and the bad. Yeah. You've seen the bickering and the no cooperation in some instances, you know.
So I got a chance to have a front row seat to it all because I had to record it all. Yes. And when you record it, not only are you there, then when you come down to put it on the channel, you almost have to rewatch it.
Exactly.
So I had to relive a lot of them bad board meetings with arguing and fighting, but it's sad.
I had to relive them too. Yeah. I'm still living some of them, but yeah.
It's just you see the reality that things don't get done. It's not about agreeing with everything and everybody. Everybody doesn't agree with everything. Right. I mean, I'm married. I don't agree with my wife on everything.
Yeah, sure.
But as far as a board and a mayor working together, and then whatever differences you had, then you work that out before you get to the public.
Right.
Because I went to other villages. A lot of times that really run very successful. They have their before it gets to the board meeting, it's already agreed on what's going to happen.
Yeah. Well, you know, a lot of these board members, a lot of these board meetings have been political.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it wasn't serving the residents well. Yeah. You know. Yeah. And as elected officials, we're elected to serve the residents. Yeah. And the residents that vote us in office, they hope that they made the right decision and putting the right person in office that'll do the best job, you know, at least to the best of their ability. Mm-hmm. So I appreciate your input on a lot of things, and some of the other trustees too, you know, because I really think they're working hard to try to make this a better place, better quality of life here in the village. Yeah. And you know, two of our biggest budgets, I should say, three of our biggest budgets are police, fire, and public works, you know. So we've had our inspectors out. In some cases, they've had to give citations for cleanups and things like that. It's a shame that I won't say it's a shame, but sometimes you have to give out tickets to get compliance, but that's not the ultimate reason to do it. But we just want to make this a better community. But I can tell when the inspectors have been around certain areas because, out at the curbs there's bushes and there's you see people cutting their lawn and different things like that, which makes the community has better curb appeal, if you will. And you maintaining your investment. When a person buys a house here, that's a big investment for them. And it's just it's how you take care of it. So the other thing in regards to public works, we are bound by, and our hands are tied in certain instances in regards to raises and things that we'd like to do because we're bound by union contracts. So that's another thing that we have to deal with usually every year to 2 to 3 years in regards to raises and benefits and different things like that. So in doing that and in saying that, we have to stay in tune with what's going on in public works. And every quarter or so often we need to make assessments of every department, not just public works, fire department, police department, so we can get the best service out of them for our residents. So what would you like the residents to know in regards to calls that are made to public works? Just the other day, I spoke with a young lady and she said, Mayor, my trees need cutting. I've been on the list for 10 years. But I don't know, I'll be honest with you, I don't know of a list that's been 10 years. And that was at least 4 years prior to me getting in office. But as you know, for the last 2 to 3 years, our budget had been cut out for tree trimming. This year, we were able to put money in the budget. We're going to cut 150 trees this year. Mostly that activity will take place on the west side. We need to give the west side a little bit more love. A lot of activity happened on the east side, but on the west side we've had some incidents there's been some shootings and some issues over there. So we cut those trees way back. We're doing several blocks over there where we have more lighting, and usually when we do that, those incidents go down. So some of those street lights, the lights will be replaced from 125 watt to 250 to 400 watt, which give more lighting in some of those areas. So Public Works is our third party tree company is doing most of that, but Public Works is also assisting in getting those things done. So, and I'm sorry for not letting you answer, but what do you want our residents to know when they make calls to Public Works and things like that?
The main thing I would like residents to know that you have 2 ladies over there that answers the phone calls. So they try their best to get back with people. But there's also another way to get, if you have a problem, there is a report of concern on the website that you can send your concerns into, which really helps. And you'll be surprised, social media.
Okay.
The Facebook page.
Yes.
Because when I was the media director, there was one time, I was with you, Matt, I think, Chief, this is before, when I was the media director, and somebody sent a complaint about a big hole in their street. They sent the pictures and everything to the Facebook page. Now that I had it on my phone, I showed Matt, the superintendent of public works, he got it on it right away.
Right.
So there's always so many means of communication or ways of communication between phone calling, which is, if everybody doesn't have social media.
Sure.
Phone calls is definitely the most effective way. And then you have the report of concern website, and then on the website, and then you also have the social media page. If you have a concern, send it to the Village of Dolton Facebook page, because somebody will get back with you.
Well, one of the things I want to let the residents know is that we've been way behind on some of the services over at Public Works due to the manpower and equipment, if you will. Now, but we're catching up, and a lot of times you get complaints. When those complaints come in, it's kind of like self-serving to that person. It's important to that person. It's also important to us too, but we're kind of behind and we're catching up, but now we're going into the winter season, whole nother element of what we do, what the Public Works does, So So we're going to get caught up. We're going to, make things happen. We're cleaning alleys.
Yeah.
Replacing lights in alley.
Yeah.
Now, one thing also that I want the residents to know is that the metal poles are the Village of Dolton's.
Oh.
The wooden poles are Commonwealth Edison. So if you see a light out and it's a wooden pole, there's usually a number on that pole. So that resident can call ComEd or go to their website and direct them to the pole where the light is out. Mm-hmm. Now, if there is no number on the pole, you want to give, if it's in the alley, you want to give the address of the resident that it is behind. Mm-hmm. If it's off in a field somewhere, you want to give some cross streets or some type of coordinates to let ComEd know which light is out. But I drive through the village on a regular basis at night. I usually have a list almost every day, at least 2 to 3 times a week for Public Works in regards to lights that are out and different things like that. Our police officers at night, they turn in or report some lights that are out. But, if you see a light that's out, call Public Works, let them know that it's out. But please don't expect to get done the very next day, because they probably already have a list of lights that are repaired. I'm going to say since, when I came in the office, there were 29 lights out or down on Sibley Boulevard. We replaced most of those at a cost of $3,000 a light pole. And so Sibley Boulevard is pretty well lit. Meade actually puts those poles up. It's a third-party vendor, Meade Electric. Some of you may have seen them out there, but we try to keep those lights going. And also in the residential areas, we try to keep the lights going. But I say on the average of every week, we were repairing probably anywhere from 10 to 25 to 30 lights a week. And they just go out, Now, if you see a light, flickering, that means that the bulb is getting ready to burn out. Yeah. Now, it'll flicker it would probably flicker for maybe a good 2 to 3 weeks or a month, maybe even a month. Then it goes completely out. Mm-hmm. So that's a warning. If you see a light that flickers, if you see a light that goes out, a minute later or 3 or 4 minutes later it comes back on, that's an indication that eventually that light will go out. So, residents, if you see that, just kind of give Public Works a call. Now, one of the problems that we have here, Ed, in the village is that we need a lot of streets to be paved.
Yeah, whole lot.
Yeah,
whole lot.
Now, we hadn't got funding in many years to get the streets done. Over the last couple of years, we've got some funding from the county. I think the year before was $200,000. Last year's $200,000. Next year's only going to be $100,000. I'm looking at a way to try to advance our motor fuel tax to maybe where we can borrow from it and get some streets done. But $200,000 is 4 streets. It's $50,000 a street, so it's 4 streets. Yeah. So over the last 4 years, we've been able to get 8 streets done with the contribution that we've got from the county, $200,000 per year. Next year's going to only be 2. But I would say right now, especially on the west side there, we're filling potholes and stuff. But on the west side there, I would say there's probably a good maybe 8 to 10 blocks that need to be done.
And I think that's one of the, when you're an outsider looking in, you don't realize the cost of things.
Yes.
And you like, well, they need to do the street. They need to do the street. Why can't they do the street? But you just, now on this side, you just see that it's just not that simple. You got to get the money, and you just have to, go through a few hoops to get it done.
Yes.
To get done. But it's just not that simple as just, I want the street done. I want somebody to do the street.
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, those 150 trees are going to cost us quite a bit of money that we have. But if it saves one life, it's worth it. And if it provides additional lighting at night for the residents so that they can be safe, it's worth it.
And I guess you could talk about, because we rode over there together, them blocks on like Evers or the other blocks that had a little high crime area.
Right.
And by cutting the trees back, how that lit up everything and how that reduced the crime in the areas.
Yeah, and you'd be surprised that once you cut those trees back, you got a full moon at night, it lights up the whole street.
Yeah.
You know, of course, in addition for with lighting, you know.
Yeah.
Now, some of those areas where we had some shooting incidents, I had some high crime areas, I had Public Works and or ComEd change those regularly standard lights of 125 watt to 250 watt, and in some areas 400 watt.
Yeah.
We haven't had incidents in those areas anywhere.
Yeah.
You know, those areas where it was really dark, and those were areas of opportunity for some of the offenders to commit these crimes, you know. So, but since we've lit them up, cut those trees back, you know, those regular spots of crime, you know, then they've gone to other areas if they're not gone away completely. So, so I want to say you're doing a great job as chairperson of both committees.
Yes, sir.
You've really putting a lot of time in, you know, and you're taking some time away from your family.
Yes, sir.
And you got a new one coming on board here pretty soon.
Yep, my wife is due January 10th. My first son will be here, God willing.
Wow, wow. Okay, well, congratulations, you know. Now, Ed, one last thing, you know, our garbage pickups.
Yeah.
It's done by a third party. And they require that the branches be tied in 4 feet sections and tied up.
Yes.
A lot of our residents don't do that, you know.
No.
And a lot of them, when our inspectors come by and they give them warnings about overgrowth and stuff like that, they're cutting and they're putting it out at the curb. We encourage them to cut it in 4 feet lengths and tie it up so Homewood Disposal will pick them up. But that doesn't happen all the time, and we try to do our best to pick up these dead branches. And you know, I know Public Works don't really like to see the dead branches out at the curb, but I like to see them because I know people are cleaning up, they're taking care of their property, you know. So in some of those areas that there's high weeds and stuff that we're responsible for, we try to cut it down and you know, to make it safe patches for our residents in certain areas. So so at any rate, have you talked to the guys in Public Works about?
Yeah, I have, because I noticed it as well. You'll ride down some blocks and it'll just be branches, and you're right. We do have an ordinance where I don't know if we have an ordinance, but Homewood Disposable requires residents to cut it up in 4 foot sections, and then if we don't cut up in 4 foot sections, then it just stays out there.
Right.
So in a perfect world, we should, I guess, encourage it and then enforce it. You know, code violations and stuff like that. But then at the same time, everybody really don't have the tools to cut it all up and make sure it's 4 foot sections.
Exactly.
So I've seen, and I've called Public Works and say, you know, there's a bunch of branches out on this street from 142nd to 140, and they'll come down and they'll pick it all up when they can.
Yes. Now, one thing I want to mention, the fact that, you know, the village tries to take care of the overgrowth in those village areas. Now, I just want to let the residents know, if you get a private contractor to come in your backyard and cut a tree down, do not have them put it at the curb, because you're the ones that are going to get the fine. These private contractors that cut these trees down on private property, they put it at the curb so they won't have to pay to dump it. But everything we pick up, we still have to pay to dump it. When we pick up those branches and they go into a dumpster, Homewood Disposal picks them up, they bill us for that. So we want to keep our costs down. So these private contractors that cut these used trees down, put them at the curb, we're not going to pick them up. You know, the homeowner, we're going to advise the homeowner to tell that contractor to come back, pick those up. And from that point, you know, reasonable amount of time, tickets will start being issued. So we run into that, you know, quite frequently. So, you know, just to let the residents know, you know, you tell them private contractors to take it away. Don't put it at the curb, because ultimately you're going to be responsible for the cost of a ticket there. All right, Trustee Steave, I'm glad you came on today.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you having me.
And hope.
And like I said, this is definitely new for me because I'm used to being
on the other side of the camera, right?
And
yeah.
So now I'm on the camera. Which is fine.
Yeah. So you're doing a great job. Keep up the good work.
Yes,
I know you're working with some of the other trustees in different areas and things like that. Their responsibilities to chair people is, different committees too. So, glad to have you today.
Yes, sir. And we're moving forward.
Good deal.
Yes, sir.
Thank you all for viewing this portion of Take Another Look. We'll see you soon.